menstruation cycle for a long period of time, the Jews called her unclean. So she had to be an outcast for 12 years. She had to be separated from her family. If she had children, she had to be separated from her children. If she had a husband, she had to be separated from her husband. She had to be an outcast out of the community of the Jewish nation. Remember, I told you, Luke's gospel is written for the outcast. That's why Luke begins to paint a picture to let us know that Jesus is the God of the outcasts. He is the God of the underdogs. You might have been going through some situations in your life. You might have been left out. Some of your friends and family might have checked you out and disregarded you, but Jesus is paying attention to you. Someone say he's the God of the outcast. So here it is. She's ostracized. She cannot talk to nobody for 12 years. Nobody understands her. She's miscommunicated. And she says she has miscommunication problems with the people that's connected to her. There is no one that understands what she's been going through. She's in a place of warfare. Some say warfare. So you must understand there's some people that love you. They love you dearly. But they do not know how to handle your warfare. They know how to embrace you. They love you. They want to be with you. They think the best of you, but they don't want to connect with you because they cannot handle your warfare. What do you do when you have an issue, a dysfunction that no one wants to connect with you about? What do you do when you are having a dysfunction that even though people see you, they see that you can make it, they see hope for you, but they don't want to join you. They don't want to support you. She was in this place where she was isolated and could not talk to anyone. Now, I want you to look at the context. Go to Deuteronomy real quick. Leviticus chapter 15. Go to the next slide for one moment, and then we're going to bring it right back. The next slide. Here it is. I want you to see the law of this and catch it. Now, if a woman has a discharge of her blood many days, not at the period of her menstrual impurity, or if she has a discharge beyond that period, all the days of her impure discharge she shall continue as though in her menstrual impurity. She is unclean. I'm reading from the New American Standard Version. Any bed on which she lies, all the days of her discharge shall be to her like her bed at menstruation. And everything on which she sits shall be unclean, like her uncleanness at that time. Likewise, whoever touches them, look at that word touches them, shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Look at that. I want you to highlight that. Verse 28 says, when she becomes clean from her discharge, she shall come off for herself 7 days, and afterwards she will be clean. Then on the 8th day she shall take for herself 2 turtle doves, someone say 2 turtle doves, and 2 young pigeons. That sounds like an offering to me. And bring them into the priest to the doorway of the tent of meeting. The priest shall offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. So the priest shall make what? Atonement. Someone say atonement. Propitiation. He shall make atonement. He shall cover her on her behalf before the Lord because of her impure discharge. So notice the state of this woman. Go back to the former slide. Notice the state of this woman. No one can get close to her. If she touches you, you will be considered to be unclean. If she connects to you, if she begins to blow at you, breathe on you, you are considered to be unclean. If she gets into your proximity, you are considered to be unclean. So here is Jesus. He's walking towards Jairus' house. This woman talks to herself and says, I know nobody likes me. I know no one understands me. But I hear that there is a healer. I hear that there is a great position there. And if I can just touch the hem of his garment. She was literally talking about the seesaw. This is the seesaw. Because all Jewish fathers, Jewish men wore what we call the talit. This is the talit. This is their prayer shawl. And when you see these 4 tassels on the corner of this talit, it represents the Lord's redemption, north, south, east, and west. It represents God's direction for his people. It represents God's covenant. So she said, if I can just touch the talit, if I can just touch his seesaw, I shall be healed. She had to talk within herself. She had to convince herself that even though she was unclean, even though she was an outcast, if she can just go beyond the crowd and don't say a word and touch the hem of his garment, I shall be healed. Wait a minute. I want you to look at the context. I want you to see something. If she was known, if she was made visible, people would have ostracized her. People would have pushed her aside. People would have ignored her. People would have rejected her. So she had to get to Jesus in silent worship. Sometimes you can go through so much in life, the devil can oppress you so much that you can't say a word. Sometimes the devil can bring so much heaviness in your life. You don't know what's going on. You don't have an answer to the complexity that you're facing. The only thing that you can do is just get into God's presence without saying a word. If she had said a word, she would have been rejected. She would have missed her blessing. But she knew that if she didn't say a word, her action was a form of worship. Look at your neighbor and say, David, you're not here by accident. Your action is a form of worship. So she goes in your window. She goes like a ninja, and she touches the hem of his garment. Come on, crowd. Come on. My crowd here. Come on, crowd. Just press me. Now here it is. Everybody's what? Pressing in on it. That word press means what? They're suffocating him. They're suffocating him, but they're not moving him. They're suffocating him. They're touching him. They're pressing him, but he's still going forward. All of a sudden, this woman comes in and touched the hem of his garment, and she stopped Jesus. Which means that you can be close to Jesus, you can be suffocating his presence, but you still don't have his attention. There's many people that are close to Jesus. There's many people that are in Jesus' proximity. They know the way to worship. They know how to sing the song. They know how to pray, but Jesus is passing them by. Because there's something about their touch that did not get his attention. Look at your next neighbor, is your touch getting his attention? He stopped, and this word touch, Brother Darren, is the word haptamai, which means she just barely touched him. The word haptamai means she took a grip on him. When she gripped him, power that was on the tallit came upon her. She did not touch Jesus' skin. She only touched something that was touching Jesus. Can I submit to you that every anointed vessel that ministers into your life represents the tallit of Jesus? If you can just touch something that's touching Jesus. And some of y'all, watch this, just came out of fasting. Some of y'all just came out of consecration. Some of the presence of Jesus came upon you. There's going to be some people that you're going to minister to, some people that you're going to connect to. They can't touch Jesus, but they will touch something that's touching Jesus. If they touch you, they will begin to touch Jesus. Because the anointing off of Jesus goes off of him to the beard, and it goes down to the skirt. It represents the body. And since you are connected to Jesus, since you are a son of God, and since you are a daughter of God, since you are coming into the access of Jesus' power, that same virtue that's on you will fall upon those that are in need. Look at your neighbor. Someone looking to touch you? Uh-oh. If someone is not looking to touch you, that means you got to get close to Jesus. If someone is not looking to touch, watch this. If someone is not looking to touch you, you letting Jesus become the first Adam. I'm saying again, look at your neighbor. Someone not looking to touch you. You're making Jesus the first Adam. Adam, why are you naked? Yeah, why are you naked, Adam? Hello, Jesus is clothed with his body. Hello, when we get into his presence and we consecrate, we clothe Jesus. Hello, when we're out of his presence, we leave him naked so no one knows him. They'll bring more shame to Jesus. It'll bring a reproach to his body because of the unshamedness, because of the nakedness. But someone say, you must touch Jesus. Say, you must cover Jesus. The text says this, though. He stopped and said, who touched me? Why did he say that? Because we just read in Leviticus chapter 15, if you were unclean and you touched someone that was clean, you have just made that person unclean. Jesus could have got very religious and said, oh, I'm unclean. I got to go to the priest. But Jesus didn't say that. His response was this. He says, I felt power come out of me. That means he was so full of power. He was not worried about the condition or the state the woman was in.
Come on.
He was worried about the power that was leaving his life.
Come on.
He was so full of the presence and the power of the Father that when this woman touched her, she was recharged. That means he was a walking battery. Someone say he was a walking divine battery. And all of a sudden, the disciples that was around them said, how you actually touch you when everyone is around you is present against you? They're suffocating you. Now, notice Peter's response. I want you to look at verse 44. Came up behind him and touched the fringe of his cloak, and immediately her hemorrhage stopped. I think I want to deal with that. Her hemorrhage stopped. That word stop means histamine. It's still. Oh, God. Some of the nuggets on this, so I got to take my time with this. Here it is. Your problem is increasing in your life. Your situation is maximizing itself against you. But as soon as you touch Jesus, Yeah, the demon has been tormenting your mind. The demon has been talking you out of the destiny that God has for you. The moment you touch Jesus, it's going to stop. Yeah, you have an issue that's running, an issue that's constantly draining your energy. You have an issue that's constantly bringing depression in your mind. You have an issue that's bringing you into a place where you don't want to seek God no more. But the moment you just make the effort to touch Jesus, that demon will stop. The Bible says, look, I want you to look at this here. I got to get back here. I'm going to take my time. Let's take out my time. Someone say, take your time. The Bible says in verse 45, and while they were all denying it, Peter said, Master, the people are crowding and pressing in on you. They're crowding and what? Pressing in. Now, what is the interesting word that you see in verse 45? Let's take my time. Maybe I'll teach you right now. I was a preacher just before. Let's be a teacher.